Did you know if David had met Goliath at the age of 9, he would have been killed? No matter how anointed, he would have been killed. It means there is a season and timing for everything. What am I trying to say? Any business deal you lose at the expense of being who you are, where you are currently in life, it is not a loss. It was never meant for you. This can be said of relationships. Be it. Welcome to another episode of Modus Operandi. This is the 5th episode. Amazing. It is by yours truly, Dr. Macaulay Barnabas, aka Dr. B Mark, or Dr. B Mark, aka Macaulay Barnabas. I'm elated that we are in the 5th episode. I'm excited. This is the beginning of many more things to come. Today we'll be talking about something quite interesting, something powerful, as usual. Yes. So today I'll be talking on authenticity, the power of authenticity. I know you must have heard of this phrase, be yourself. You must have also heard of this phrase, fake it till you make it. Well, this is an important conversation. It is very important, really, because we live in a hustle culture that has prioritized numbers over holistic gain. What am I saying? There are two types of gain. There is the gain by numbers. There's also the gain by fulfillment. Yes, but we'll talk about all this in the course of this conversation, the power of authenticity. 3 months ago, someone I respect, I honor what God is doing in his life, he was sharing something about the importance of packaging. And the example he used was about an entrepreneur who, I've forgotten the brand of car he was driving. So let's say it's a 2005 Toyota Corolla, right? And he had a business dealing with Otedola, who we all know is a billionaire. Otedola undercharged this entrepreneur because of the car he was driving. So the moral of the lesson, the moral of the story, according to this person, was about the importance of packaging. The clip didn't sit well with me. I feel the presentation could have been more holistic, especially in the kind of era we live in, where people are faking it terribly, aggressively faking it to make it. But that is not so about life. There are 2 ways to look at life. I learned this 4 years ago. Macroscopically and microscopically. Big words. Micro at a close range level. Macro at a farther range level. Simultaneously. Not either or. Both. Over time, I've realized that a huge part of the population only look at life microscopically, at a very close range, That can be dangerous. Of course, there are those who only look at life macroscopically. What does it mean to look at life microscopically? What it means to look at life microscopically is at a close range, where you are aware of the intensity the situation demands. Oh, you know you're about to get married. You know that there's no time in a sense. You know you have a business deal with a bigger person, so to say. It is intense. You know that there's house rent to pay. A sibling is probably ill and you have to take care of that bill, depending on the structure of your family or your spouse. You know the intensity, you feel it, looking at life microscopically, which is very fine. What does it also mean to look at life macroscopically? It means to step back, seeing the bigger picture of the situation, to not be swallowed up by the microscopic perception alone. So it means if I am too close to the situation microscopically, I may get swallowed up by the situation, living in intense paranoia. Is that not what is happening today? It's all paranoia. The hustle, the packaging, the this one, the that one. Even at the expense of losing great and solid relationship, cheating your way to win. We call it smartness. Meanwhile, it is total foolishness. The danger of being too macroscopic, that is moving far away from the situation, is that you can move so far away that you become indifferent. So we need both. So what is my problem with that statement by this person whom I honor what God is doing in his life? The problem is that the situation was only seen microscopically. So meaning that the entrepreneur in this situation ought to go and borrow a more expensive looking car so that it will give Otedola a better impression of who he is as an entrepreneur. Hence, negotiating fairly, not undercharging. That seems wise, but it is foolish. Did you know if David had met Goliath at the age of 9, he would have been killed? No matter how anointed, he would have been killed. It means there is a season and timing for everything. What am I trying to say? Any business deal you lose at the expense of being who you are, where you are currently in life, it is not a loss. It was never meant for you. This can be said of relationships, be it in friendship or a romantic relationship. That person isn't for you. What am I saying? For anything that is long term, everything at the end of the day is long term, by the way. It is good to assume a posture that won't hurt you in the long run. Let's say the door is like this. No, there's a better analogy I have. Let's say a room, the ceiling is 5 feet, but that room has beautiful things. You have to stay there for 10 years. Because you want to fit in. You who is 6 feet bends to enter that room. That ideally is not supposed to be for you. You have to assume a posture so that you can pass through the door. The problem is that in the long run, that posture you've assumed that is comfortable for you will begin to ache you because that is not your room. That is not your room. Faking it till making it may work sometimes for some persons, but not all gains is defined by numbers. Don't get me wrong, numbers is important. What shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Prior to this time, I believe we thought that statement is just internal. It is also now. Of course, at the end of the day, life is about making profits. We don't like to hear the word profit because it sounds cold. That is true. But it's not just profit by numbers, but profit by fulfillment. Because when we see the talent giver, he will ask us, that talent I gave you, the currency of oppression, what did you do with it? How did you trade with it? You are the perfect magnet and the perfect filter. It means you are the perfect filter to sieve in what ought to be in your life and sieve out what ought not to be. You are the perfect magnet, good or bad, to attract those who are supposed to be in your life now and to repel those who are not. This is a very, very important dynamics into assessing what ought to be in your life now or not. Be you. Being you does not mean you are just complacent. No, it means you are true to where you are. You are credible. You are authentic. If you are David, you were anointed at the age of 9, for instance, does not mean you are qualified to fight Goliath. Don't go and bear the armor. No, you will just die before your time. Wait till you are 17, perhaps. No matter how talented Messi was, he was not going to win the World Cup until he was 34 years old. Not 16. Not 20. Authenticity is important. It is never overrated. I heard a comedian also giving the same analogy about how he had to borrow an expensive car so he could get a business deal. No. There are pressures that can kill. They can kill. Especially when you're not ready for them. So what God does, just like a gym session, you're lifting 5 kg, 10 kg, 15 kg, it gradually gets better. You don't just drop to 50 kg for an opportunity you are not qualified for. Your muscles are not ripe for. You could just die. So macroscopically, at far range, from a more holistic perspective, you may sometimes be undercharged because of where you are as an entrepreneur, as a person. You may sometimes miss out on an opportunity because right now, you are currently flying bikes from left to right. It does not necessarily mean you are failing. Those are not your opportunities yet. There are certain opportunities you may miss out on as a person just because you are not yet flying private jets or even taking flights. It is fine. Ceteris paribus, all things being equal, as a matter of principle. Yes, there can be exception, but I'm talking about principles here. So it is fine. Do we graduate into riding bikes from trekking, then from riding bikes into driving a 2004 Honda model? Then from there, you are buying a 2015 model. From there, you can afford to buy any car you want. You graduate in life. Do not skip the process. Do not do what others are doing because they are trying to look a particular way to get an opportunity that is not meant for them at a particular time just because they want an immediate gain by profit. That is not how to think. That is not how to live. You are the perfect filter to take in those who are meant to be with you and to filter out, sieve out those who are not meant to be with you. You are the perfect magnet to attract those meant for you and those not, repelling those who are not meant for you. So as a filter, you retain what is meant for you. You filter, sieve out those who are not for you. You have to think this way. Yes, on a microscopic, tiny, close range level, feel the intensity of the situation. However, simultaneously, on a macroscopic level, step back to look at the big picture. So you are not swallowed up in paranoia, thereby compromising your integrity in the process just because of numerical gain. There are laws that governs numbers, but there are laws that governs the laws that governs numbers. True victory is excelling. True victory is making profit by numbers and by fulfillment, where your soul is not lost. Excellence remains making the best use of what I have until better comes. If you look at life that way, you are careful about how you define progress. Like I've said before, it is not always forward movement. Sometimes it looks like stagnation. Sometimes it looks like rejection. Stay where you are. Be consistent where you are. Have integrity where you are. Have you ever seen someone? They use a lesser version of phone, but the way they use that phone, yours is better. It's almost like you should take theirs. If it could even be a dress. The way they've packaged it, it looks better than yours, that is even more expensive. That is how to live life. Making the best use of what you have until better comes. That is how not to compromise on your core values, losing your soul in the process. What shall it profit? Oh, profit is important, but it is profit by values and profit by numbers. So, authenticity is not overrated. We are the wise ones. We refuse to be swallowed up by the god of hustle culture. We hustle from a place of rest, a higher perspective, a nourishing depth. I hope you've had a nice time. Again, it is yours truly, Dr. B. Mac, aka Dr. Macaulay Barnabas. See you on the next episode. Do have a wonderful time. You're welcome.